On Sunday we play against Parma, and as far as we know, no new faces except of Joao Mario and Jonathan David will be on the bench or start the game against the team of Carlos Cuenta, the 29 years old trainer of Parma. You tell me, Beppe, we still have some time. We still have time until the 1st of September because the names, the ideas that we are hearing, well, they are that close to Juve. Kolo Muani, Zhegrova, a midfielder, maybe a Molina on the right side. We just need to sell a bit of players and they will all arrive one after the other, especially now that we started that domino effect with Douglas Luiz. But pay attention, because there is a really big problem. Boniface to Milan could potentially be a problem, but also apparently some problems with Paris Saint-Germain for Kolo Muani, Lille for Zhegrova, and more possible problems. So the team that we are imaging at today with new players, the names that we were thinking that would be Juventini, could possibly be a total new team in the last week of Mercato. And that's what we'll speak about in today's video. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Ragazzi miei, when I'm asking you in the beginning of the video to put a maximum of like or to subscribe to the channel, well, first of all, it's because it's a usual thing to say. That's how YouTube works, you know it. Without likes, without subscription, the video will not be shared. So it's really something that we are asking every single time as content creator now. Am I begging for it? Absolutely not, because you have absolutely the choice to do it or not do it. If you want to support the channel, me as a content creator, you can do it. If you don't want to, you don't do it. But I'm absolutely not begging for it. And that being said, if you want to like, if you want to subscribe, otherwise we continue with the news. And we start with the news because yesterday, and it's totally crazy because usually we are expecting them towards the month of November. Well, yesterday, end of August, on the 20th of August, La Maglia Bianconera already anticipated the 3 new shirts for season, not this one because we already know 2 of them, but for the season 26-27, so for next one. It's incredible how fast actually the communication go, how fast actually we have these kinds of information. We don't even know in reality, because it has not been unveiled publicly yet, how the 3rd one will look for this season. We already know the next one. So now pay attention and don't forget, La Maglia Bianconera is always doing an excellent job. Follow them on all social media. They are telling us 50% accuracy. So a lot of the details that you can see can change. The colors, the base colors should be these ones, but a lot can change in the meanwhile. Now, we have to admit that yesterday when we saw the first mock-ups, well, the 3 of them, and that's really something special, the 3 of them are winners. The home, that is actually black and white stripe, referring to history, to the first year where we won a European trophy with in 76-77, is really beautiful. Is really beautiful, bringing tradition, what a lot of Juventini are asking for the home shirt. Then the second one, that is actually bringing back, again, tradition, because it's referring to the first colors of our shirt. The pink, that is an important color for all the bianconeri. The pink color there with the zebra. Again, a full, really full traditional shirt. The special thing is that the zebra, for the first time after season 24-25, 25-26, will not be anymore on the 3rd one, but upgraded to the 2nd shirt, to the away shirt, total pink like that. Don't forget that, again, the details could totally change, as we can see reported by La Bianconera. If you took the time to read what they are working on and writing and describing, there could be a zebra pattern on the pink, so pay attention. And then the 3rd one, that is also bringing back and unlocking a lot of memories to that sliding celebration against Manchester City, Pogba, Quadrado, Dybala, etc. Wow, Morata, if I'm not wrong. Mamma mia, what a picture, what a shirt, total black with golden and grey details. Really, really beautiful. So we wait, we see. Pay attention, again, 50% accuracy. In the next coming months, we will have a bit more detail, and I'm sure that people will be totally pissed off, but that's another story. Now, yesterday, newness, because numbers have been confirmed for season 25-26, where we see only one swap, only one change. Also, a beautiful video on the social media of Juve with Di Gregorio that was about to shoot with the number 29, where Weston McKennie is entering and saying, aspetta, wait, here, the shirt, giving him the number 16 that he was already wearing in the last 3 seasons at Monza. So 16 for Michele Di Gregorio, with Weston McKennie that goes towards the number 22. Is it a record? Yeah, it could be a record, but pay attention because also Fagioli played with 4 different shirts in first team, even if the first ones were referring to a player that was coming from the youth academy, so not really standard numbers. But also Pinsoglio played with 4 numbers, something that we discovered yesterday during the live, thanks to our friends that were here yesterday following. Now, Weston McKennie, a lot of talks during this Mercato, no contract extension, etc., but Weston McKennie is intention to stay at Juve, playing his cards. Let's see if we can resume contract extension talk or not, but even if it's the last season for him, he wants to be there at Juve and being again the jolly, playing in different roles. Let's see. It's always the same story every single summer with Weston. A lot of people are ignoring him. A lot of people are thinking that he's out of the team, that he will not start, and at the end, he's one that is playing a lot of games, and that is extremely precious. So I wish Weston McKennie, if he stays, and I believe that he will stay, again, a season as a protagonist, because we know it. If they perform well, regardless if we like a player or we don't like a player, more they perform, more actually it's benefiting Juve. One that will stay, and yesterday it was a clear message on Instagram, is Locatelli. Change, svolta, Loca is the first page on Tuttosport. Juve fino alla fine, referring to that Instagram post yesterday after some voices that came out from Tuttosport saying, possibly he opened to possible talks with Al Ahly to go to Saudi Arabia, to leave Juve. Well, yesterday probably Manu Locatelli, after reading that article written by Direttore Guido Vassiago, said, I need to send a message saying, no, I don't go there. So he stays at Juventus, which I said 2 days ago. It's totally normal. I never imagined Loca saying yes to leaving Juve this summer. Can be in the future, absolutely yes. Could have been even in the past, but this summer there were a lot of signs that told me, I don't think so. But he's refusing 11-12 million euro net per season, which is a lot. It's actually triple, if not 4 times what he's earning at Juve, because he has a contract with 3.5 per season. So refusing a lot of money to stay as a Bianconero. A player that will not be anymore in our midfield with 3, midfield with 2, or offensive player like we saw him in the last test with Tudor, is Douglas Luiz. Yesterday the here we go arrived. We knew it. I told you, don't raise your hopes too high, even if some beautiful performance against Dortmund, against I don't remember, Juve Next Gen or whatever. Pay attention, because he's a player that is on the market, because he wanted to leave. He already gave up on Juve a long time ago, and probably also Juve gave up on him. This was the summer to let him go, and not next one, because that would have been extremely a problem. Then yesterday a lot of controversy came out, because from the 35, 37, 38 million euro that we were reading online, well, we heard 30 million euro. What is Damien Comolli doing? 30 million euro, we are doing minus Valenza. Well, no, not technically, especially not because the player is going on loan with an option that becomes an obligation linked to some appearances. I don't know how much, could be 1, could be 10, could be 15. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know that detail, but it's important that we are postponing it, because postponing, you don't do minus Valenza. 32.5 is the total sum, because the loan will be an expensive loan, because they will actually loan him for 2.5 for this season. So that money comes into the bank of Juve. 1 year of depreciation, where next year, when his value at Juve in the books will be smaller, will decrease. Well, that's where you actually do a plus Valenza instead of a minus Valenza. So actually, it's a technical change that actually makes that we are not losing money on Douglas Luiz to Nottingham Forest. That is a permanent deal, even if it's not like that on paper. It's a good decision, I believe. It's a pity, yes. One of my biggest regrets, yes. The only other player that I saw like that as a huge big regret probably was Diego back then, that I had a lot of hopes when I was younger. Well, Douglas Luiz, I hoped a lot for him, but the conditions were not there. I'm speaking about a masterpiece from Damien Comolli. I insist on that, because selling a player that played 3 games with you and not even it's good. It's good. I really think it's a really good one, but it's a pity that we never saw the potential of Douglas Luiz, that I'm sure will do extremely well with Nottingham Forest. Another player that will not be there for the midfield, and we knew it, is Arthur, that is about to sign for Gremio. Could possibly travel this weekend to put the signature there. I'm not speaking about a masterpiece. I'm speaking about a decision that has been taken, a tough one, because apparently, we will stop the contract of Arthur, that I believe was still worth 10 million euro. Of course, 10 million euro is a minus Valenza, is a big minus Valenza. You are saving on salary. That was 2.5 million euro net, so we are speaking about 3.5, 4 million euro gross that the team has not to pay anymore, the club has not to pay anymore to Arthur, a decision that has been taken to actually stop after all these years. Every single summer, arriving to the last days of Mercato, the player refused big teams like Girona, where he played, Betis, where he played, Celta Vigo. No, Betis and Celta Vigo didn't play, but there were some offers from Spain because they saw that he was playing actually quite well in La Liga last year, but he was refusing everything. So Juventus, they said, instead of having a player, again, with the same cinema, having in our team, paying the salary, on top of that, of having still that value, we take a harsh decision that is against Juve because we are losing money, but it was something that had to be done. This is not a masterpiece. This is a harsh decision that had to be taken, even if you are losing a bit. Now, the Mercato will not stop there with some difficulties because Arthur not being sold is a problem for you because you have less liquidity, but other big problems are appearing since yesterday. Boniface to Milan is a problem. Bravo. Iglitare, bravo. If you go back to a lot of lives when we spoke about sporting director, I always told you that I had a lot of respect for the sporting director role at Lazio from Iglitare. I really believe that he's a really good one, and we see what he's doing at Milan. Chapeau, going out of nowhere, because there were absolutely no voices in being able to go with a loan with an option, so not an obligation for Boniface. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Is he injury prone? Absolutely yes. Is it a bet? Is it a danger? Absolutely yes. But for a team that is playing only once a week, it's a risk that they can take. It's a risk that they can allow themselves. And on top of that, they are actually saving money because Dusan Vlahovic would have been on a huge big salary. It's a player that you have to give a multiple contract. Højlund, he was requesting an obligation to buy so that he would not go back to Manchester United the season after. Chapeau. But that brings us in trouble because Dusan Vlahovic is not an option anymore for Milan and could also not be an option anymore for Napoli, that is now on Højlund because Milan is not there anymore. So pay attention because that could be a problem. A lot of people are saying he could even stay 6 months and then sign to somewhere else. He could leave then. I don't know what will happen with Dusan Vlahovic. I just tell you that the idea of Juve is to stop with Dusan Vlahovic if there is an opportunity that looks further and further and further away. Regardless of Dusan Vlahovic, Juventus wants to go for Kolo Muani, but a lot of people are telling us Kolo Muani tomorrow, Kolo Muani today, Kolo Muani day today. Well, I always told you, especially yesterday in the video, pay attention because Kolo Muani doesn't look as close as what people are telling us, as papers are telling us, and Juventus is already working on alternative. What is happening? Paris Saint-Germain, they said, we want, according to Corriere dello Sport, we want 70 million euro. I believe 70 million euro is way too much for Kolo Muani. So it's not what I believe, but it's a certainty. 70 million on top of what we already paid. 70 million is out of this world. And I would say, merci. Au revoir. It is what it is. Au revoir, Kolo Muani. I don't believe that the Paris Saint-Germain wants 70, but I want a lot of money for Kolo Muani, and apparently the 45 or 50 that Juventus is offering for the player, which I consider already high, honestly, but that's what you need to do for a striker that already has proven in 6 months and scored a lot of goals. Well, they want a bit more. They want a bit more. I'm not sure if Juve, they will raise even their offer. At the moment, we are all confident at Juve side to have the player, but it's not a guarantee. It's not a promise if Paris Saint-Germain is not accepting it. And that's why Juventus is obliged to go for an alternative market. And yesterday, Alfredo Pedula confirmed it. It's not only Zazzaroni that is inventing out of nowhere, because it's something that I told you in yesterday morning's video, but also Zazzaroni, on top of that Alfredo Pedula that yesterday said exclusive. Kolo Muani, Paris Saint-Germain is actually increasing their request. Juventus, they want and they have in mind and a target to close the deal, but it's true that they start also to look for alternative, and the names are Jackson from Chelsea and Openda from Leipzig. We already spoke about these players yesterday. I know that Jackson is one that nobody wants from the Juventini. That was the first reaction, while Openda is a player that people said, we like him, we remember him, he was already a target for Juve, so it's a beautiful name. I tell you that Openda is extremely difficult, and that's why I would not exclude that the name of Dovbyk, that is out of the plans of Gasperini, could be a last day alternative for you. At the moment, no talks, so calma, tranquilli, but it's already a name that I want to anticipate you on the 21st of August. Before every single paper is speaking about it, pay attention to the name. Will he come to Juve? I don't think so, but I think that it will be a name that will come on the front pages linked to Juve for the last day. So pay attention to Dovbyk. Dovbyk, that is not a bad player. He did not good at Roma, but a fantastic player at Girona. So pay attention for him. Extremely strong in aerial duels. A player that knows how to score as well. Pay attention to Dovbyk. What about Zhegrova? I told you about problems. If yesterday we were all confident about the player joining Juve quite soon, there are some problems. He started back to train with the team, which is a good news, because a lot of people were speaking about his physical condition. He started back to train with the team after postponing it 1 week because he was not sure. There were the talks about Marseille, talks about Juve already. He started back on Monday. The president, Letan from Lille, is a bit doing difficult. I tell you the truth on that one. No, it's not only Nico Gonzalez out and Zhegrova in, like Tuttosport is reporting us, like Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting us. To me, from what I know, there are other problems, guys. It is what it is. We just have to wait a bit to understand. But at today, if I tell you, will he come to Juve? Will he join Juve this week? I tell you no. Next week, could be. But I will not put my hand in fire because Mercato is totally crazy, and what happens today and is real today can change tomorrow. So Juventus needs to wait. Pay attention because a lot of difficulties happen in the last few hours. Boniface to Milan, Vlahovic that could stay. What about Douglas Luiz that has not been gone on permanent deal for 37 million, which was the idea maybe of a few weeks ago. There are a few problems there that Tamiaco only has to deal with in the last days of Mercato, and that's why I tell you all the names that we read until today could possibly change from tomorrow. Let's see what we will be able to build, but still don't forget that Tudor and boys, they need to focus on Juve Parma. If you enjoyed the video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza Juve.